The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers. Good morning. Today on our show, Winning in Retirement, I have a special guest. That special guest is Sam Payne from AMS. Sam has been in the industry, financial services industry, for over 30 years with experience in insurance and broad-based financial services. He has many different licenses, certifications, but most importantly for today's show, Sam is a certified national Social Security advisor. So you're hearing from one of the best when it comes to Social Security, which is why Sam is with me for today's show. Thanks for joining me today, Sam. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
It's awesome to have you on the show. I've known you for a long time, Sam, and I know your knowledge is going to come through the radio waves today. So I look forward to having our show. Sam, so you are a national Social Security advisor. So what's involved in getting that?
A National Social Security Advisor, it's an organization that was created by two individuals, one a CPA, Certified Public Accountant, and the other a longtime employee of the Social Security. They created that to teach advisors about the ins and outs, the nuances of Social Security. There is a 2-day course you have to take and some exams you have to pass to get that certification.
Yeah, they actually watch you as you take the exam. It's a tough exam, but Sam's been through that. And what we wanted to do today is this. We have a very special show. We're not going to be doing Social Security 101 like many other people do. We're going to advance. We have an expert with us, and we're going to do Social Security 102. So you got to hold on tight. But today you're going to learn about Social Security, how it works, and how it might not work for you, but also what you need to think about when you're making your Social Security decision. Now, if you're already drawing Social Security, this show, you're going to listen to it and go, I already have Social Security, I can't change it. But at least you can have knowledge for when you're advising the youngsters out there on their Social Security decision. All right, Sam. So there's many things with Social Security. There's letters and words and ages, all kinds of things that we need to know. I thought we'd start the show with some basics. So if maybe you can go over some of the words, ages, and letters that people need to know as we talk today when we try to make them Social Security cool when it comes to definitions.
Absolutely. So some of the letters you'll hear are things like PIA and FRA, and spousal is a word, and divorced and disability survivor. So PIA, that is your primary insurance amount. In reality, that is the most important number at Social Security because all other benefits are based on that primary insurance amount. So PIA is something to remember. The second thing is FRA, which is your full retirement age. Depending on the year you were born, your full retirement age is based on the year you were born. So somebody born in 1960 has a different retirement age, full retirement age, than somebody born in 1956. Next thing would be spousal. It's important to know that spouses have a benefit, and the spousal benefit is incredibly important for those, specifically those spouses that maybe didn't have the same work history as the worker in the couple. Disability, there are disability Social Security payments. Survivor benefits, there are survivor benefits and there are family benefits. And then last is OASDI, Old Age Security Disability Insurance. So that's another topic altogether. But really one of the things I want to make sure people know is that there are 4 types of Social Security benefits. And those 4 types of benefits are retirement benefits for the worker, survivor benefits, disability benefits, and family benefits. So then, after that, then you have the numbers, the ages. And so you got throw ages like age 60 and 62 and 65, 66, 67, and 70. Those are the different ages when you can actually begin claiming Social Security, depending on your specific situation. So age 60, there are cases when you can claim Social Security as early as age 60 in certain conditions. Almost everybody can claim at age 62. That's the early retirement age. And then, of course, you've got your full retirement ages, which currently are 65, 66, 66 plus 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months. and so on to age 67, and then you should never ever wait past 70 to claim Social Security. That's your extended or delayed Social Security retirement age.
All right, so Social Security 102 is going to be tough. What Sam just did is just covered a lot of detail with Social Security. And we're going to do the rest of the show. We're not going to be so detailed when it comes to everything. We're going to try to make it a little fun, tell you some stories. But we want you to understand that you need some coaching and advice when it comes to what you should do for Social Security for you and your family. So when Sam was going over PIA and FRA, those are two of some of the basic talks that we got to do to start. The PIA, the personal insurance amount. This is something where you can actually go to the Social Security webpage and research and get your information. Now, how does someone do that, Sam?
Great question. And in reality, almost everyone should have their own socialsecurity.gov account signed up for. If you go on to ssa.gov and sign on, you will be able to get your own account, look at your own statement on a regular basis. So I encourage everybody to go to ssa.gov, create your own account, and then you can get in and look at your statement. You don't have to wait to get it in the mail. You can look at it anytime.
And you can do this at any age.
There's a great history with Social Security. You can do it at any age, yes, you can. And it will tell you your work history, how many credits you got towards Social Security. It'll tell you your early retirement benefit, your full retirement age benefit, and your delayed benefit. Recognizing that that's an estimation, assuming you have the same earnings record until those dates. If those earnings records change, your income goes down, the estimation is off. So I just want to make sure people clear about that. It's an estimation. It's not an exact number.
That estimation is based on 35 years of earnings, where they look at what you've earned through W-2s and through other reporting to the IRS. Now, when you think about people that are drawing Social Security, the PIA is the amount that you would be earning at different ages. And there's a lot of detail when it comes to there's a penalty for drawing earlier, and you actually get paid more if you wait. And that all is determined based on your FRA, your full retirement age. So if we're out there and we say, hey, FRA, full retirement age. So this year, 1956, people that are born in 1956 are turning, I think, 65 this year. They're going to have some decisions to make, which that's definitely going to be part of the show as we get into the different quarters of our show. But what we want to do at the moment is this. Social Security has been around for a long time. Can you just explain a little bit about the history of Social Security, why it was started, and what's going on now?
Yeah, Social Security was originally started in 1935, and it may be best if I just answer 4 quick questions and see if your audience knows those answers, and you answer them as well. First of all, we just answered it. When was Social Security established? 1935. The second question is, who was the first person to ever receive a Social Security benefit, and when did he receive it? Any idea?
You're talking about the man or the lady? I guess the man, I forgot.
The man.
I'm sorry, his name. Yeah, I forgot his name.
Ernest Ackerman. He received a lump sum payment in 1937. He paid 5 cents in the program and got a lump sum benefit for 17 cents. So the next question is, when Social Security was started, when was the full retirement age?
The full retirement age was 65. Exactly.
But the life expectancy in 1935, what was that?
I'm afraid it was 63.
It was 60 years old. You're exactly right. So the full retirement age was 65. The mortality was 60. Most people weren't even expected to reach full retirement age. So Social Security was established for a specific purpose. And the specific purpose was to lift the senior population after the Great Depression, to lift them out of poverty. It wasn't intended at that time to be a retirement program. So the history of Social Security has been around a long time. Those dates have changed very little since then, but it continues to be a vibrant part and integral part of most Americans' retirement income plan. So making sure you understand the ins and outs, the nuances of Social Security, when to claim it, the different things you have to take into consideration to claim Social Security. That's only to your listeners' benefit, to make sure they understand that, and they're working with an advisor like you who does understand Social Security, the benefits, and how to properly claim for it.
All right, so Social Security, there is a lot of things when it comes down to understanding the basics, and then there's understanding the ages, and then you got to understand how it applies to you and your family when it comes to when to draw and how to draw. And that's what we're going to be covering throughout the show. So Sam Payne is here with us today going over these thoughts. So far in the first quarter, we covered PIA and FRA. Those are the first two terms that you really got to know. Sam, can you cover FRA one more time as we come to a close here in the first quarter?
Sure. Full retirement age is the age you will get your full Social Security benefit, which is your primary insurance amount. That full retirement age is based on the year you were born. So you mentioned those that are turning 65 this year were born in 1956. Well, the full retirement age for those born in 1956 is not 65, it's 66 years and 2 months, I believe. So it's understanding exactly when your retirement age is, 66 and 4 months, not 2 months. So that's full retirement age. Primary insurance amount is the amount you would get at your full retirement age. If you claim early, your primary insurance amount, your full retirement age benefit, is reduced. If you delay, it's increased.
Absolutely. So this FRA, full retirement age, you need to know what it is. It's all about the year that you were born. So if you're born in 1956, you turn 65 this year. It's your Medicare year, but it does not have to be your Social Security year. Your actual full retirement age would be 66 and 4 months, and we're going to explain why that's important as we get into the show further. Now, when you guys are thinking about retirement, the best part of retirement is getting your time back. You decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job. A lot of that goes away at retirement. Your time now is consumed by things that you want to do. To begin winning in retirement, give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule a phone meeting, a Zoom meeting, or even an in-person meeting that is mass to mass at this time. You can meet with one of our team of advisors in one of our offices. Give us a call to start your retirement planning now. Call us at 833-946-7384 or visit us at AkersFinancialGroup.com. When should you start drawing Social Security? We'll talk about that in the second quarter.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to the second quarter of Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is our special guest, Sam Payne from AMS. Sam has over 30 years experience in the insurance and financial services industry, and Sam is a certified National Social Security Advisor, which is a big deal because today's show is called Social Security 102. It's not your average 101 class that you hear everywhere else. It's 102. We're going to take it to another level today. It's great having Sam as an expert here with me today. How are you doing today? Are you ready for the second quarter, Sam?
I'm ready for the second quarter, and it's great being here with you, Brian. And we'll talk about when a good time to start drawing Social Security is. But, Brian, I listen to your show a lot, and I've heard you give some great advice on this show. But I kind of want to know a little bit about you, about who you are, what caused you to get into this business. So tell me who you are and what made you become a financial advisor?
I've known you, Sam, for like over 15 years, but I have to think back to when I was 14 years old is when the first time I read about financial planning, and that sort of got me interested. There was an article from a magazine that I picked up at our church called Home Life I think it was called Home Life back then, but the article was about finances and divorce, and it was about families that were breaking up. A lot of times it's spiritual reasons, but financial reasons also lead towards families breaking up. The financial problems is about communication and not really handling it well together, which leads to more and more stress and things like that. The article was about a lot of things involving that, and part of it was written by a financial planner. And so that was started me in thinking about finances, because I enjoy the financial talks, the business ideas from my father's friends and things like that. But ultimately, as I got out of high school, I decided to go to Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech had a finance degree, a corporate finance degree is what I ended up with there. And then I also took personal finance classes at Virginia Tech. Back then, they taught us options and investments. I took life insurance course in college, auto and homeowners college course. I even took financial planning and wrote a financial plan back in the 80s at Virginia Tech. And so that sort of got me started as I was an intern from the age of 19. And then I started my first company. I was 23 years old. That year I started my first company. And then I also got my certified financial planner and all the licenses you need. And that was 1991 and January 1991. So it's been a few years, but back then I got to meet a guy named Lauren Dunton, and he's one of the first writers on financial planning. And that was just an incredible thing to learn the concept and process behind planning that leads to the answer rather than having something that's product driven. Product driven sort of driven me crazy over the years, because most gimmicks, you hear people talk, they're always trying to sell something. And the idea is that how do you know that it fits right for the client? The concepts of fiduciary and best interest have always meant a lot to me before they ever became a concept or a word. Financial planning, my understanding of it is what is best for that client, and then you break out exactly what they need. The client's decision comes down to the answer, in my opinion. That's the way my brain thinks in trying to figure out an answer for each and every client. And so we built Akers Financial Group around that concept, where we are driven by planning for the client, and that'll give us the product that we need for that client. But we have to build a company that can deliver whatever that product is. So that's sort of the concepts behind what I do and how we do it. On the radio show, Winning in Retirement, is because I enjoy coaching so much.
And you've done a great job at building a spectacular business with a team around you. You've got some great advisors that work with you, Alex Monk and Jeff Akers. You've got a great support team there behind you. But that's what you do. That's what you do for work. Now, you serve the community in a lot of other ways, and one of the things I know that you've loved to do for many, many years, is coach basketball. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I've been a high school basketball coach for, 31 years, 32 years now. I coach at a small Christian school in Harford County, and I've been doing that for a long time. So I love coaching. I love taking a team from where they are and helping them achieve whatever goals possible. It's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of strategy, but it's great to be able to help kids through that great time of life. I know I enjoy playing sports, and sports is a big part of my life, and I enjoy the coaching, especially the players. It's a lot of fun.
And there are a lot of parallels between what you do on the coaching, with your coaching, and what you do with your clients. And that, in essence, you're coaching your clients through some of their major financial decisions, which I think is fantastic. Last week, your show talked about a financial fingerprint, how unique it is to each and every individual. The financial plan is similar to a financial fingerprint in that it is unique to each and every individual. Let me ask you, as a coach, when you're playing a different team, do you always use the same play, the same offense, defense for every team you play, or does that switch up similar to the financial planning?
Well, I probably have issues with that because I have an offense for every defense. I have multiple quick hitters and continuity plays all set up based on if they give me a one top or two top zone, or if they press three-quarter, half or full man, whatever type of man they apply. And the hard part is it requires my players to know the game and to know what's going on the court. And the younger teams struggle a little bit as they learn it, but I believe strategy is something that you got to have. Strategy in basketball court is being prepared as you walk on for whatever we might face that day, and that's exactly what we should do in our financial life. Being prepared for our future, no matter what comes, is a key. To me, that means let's take the least amount of risk to reach our goals, not the most amount of risk. By taking a lower amount of risk and knowing that we're going to make it okay no matter what worst-case scenario happens, we then can handle the financial times of life, the transitions, the ups, the downs. So basketball has the same thing. Games they go on runs. You have to call timeouts, and you got to make changes, and you got to get players to be role players to be stars, and you got to blend them all together. Same thing with your investments, your portfolios, insurance, taxes, estate planning. It all has to work together, or it doesn't work at all.
And your job as a coach is to see the big picture, to see what's going on, to look at the court and see the offense that you're playing against the defense of the competitors. The same thing with a financial plan. See the big picture. What's going on in the economy, what's going on in the markets, what's going on in our political environment, what's going on from a health perspective, to see all that stuff and then relay that and come up with a plan for each and every individual. And I think that's kind of the analogy you're using with the financial fingerprint, is that my plan is different than your plan, which is different than Alex's plan. Everybody's plan is different. The old days of having everybody do a specific thing, and that is the only thing they should be doing, probably doesn't make sense anymore. Is that true?
Absolutely. There is no one answer. There's no one product that would meet everyone's needs. Many times, if you don't know why you're buying something, you should never buy it. And the reason is you got to see how it's going to apply to you. Like we designed this show today, the Social Security 102, with the goal of teaching Social Security, but also for you not to just go along with everyone you know. They all say, oh, you're 62, you ought to draw it. My answer is no, don't draw it at 62. I think Sam was like over 70-some% of people draw it at 62, and many times our clients shouldn't draw it at 62 because there's other reasons, other things that affect that decision. So understanding planning, understanding their financial fingerprint helps us make wise decisions when it comes to each and every piece of financial life. So Sam, on Social Security, now I've just said that a lot of people draw it at 62, and that's like over 70%. And is that true?
That is true, and unfortunately, their CPAs tended to use what's called a break-even analysis, which is a mathematical calculation to determine if you claim at 62 or 65 or 70, how long you will achieve a certain amount of money. That's math, and math is great, but the problem is there are so many eventualities and so many different scenarios that you have to take the scenarios. You have to take other things into consideration. What are the ages of the two individuals? Is one healthy and one unhealthy? Is one got a better working record, a better earnings record than the other? And so the old adage of claiming at 62 for everybody, to me, makes no sense whatsoever. And there are some absolute consequences of doing that can be detrimental, especially if you've got a spouse that maybe didn't have the same earnings record, and it's some future date. So there are always those that will say this is the rule everybody should use, and we don't think that rule makes a heck of a lot of sense. It's taking each and every individual, looking at their specific circumstance and determining what's best for their scenario. And again, that's what you do. You look at the overall picture, not just everybody should do this defense. So
yeah, I guess
what I suggest is you sit down with a financial advisor.
Yeah, what I guess happens is that in the first part of the show, we covered FRA, full retirement age. So an example would be someone 56, full retirement age is 66 and 4 months. If they drew early at 62, they're going to take a lot less money. There's a penalty for drawing early. And a quick example is if you have a $1,000 Social Security benefit at FRA, full retirement age, if you start at 62 and you were born in 1956, you're only going to get $733 instead of $1,000. And so what you're doing is locking in that low payment for Social Security for the long term. What's best for the Social Security system? Yes. Hey, draw at 62. They owe you less money over a lifetime. The hardest part in Social Security is there is no easy answer when it comes to what is best for your situation. We can't just say, always do the following. It depends on a lot of variables. So the FRA, what is your FRA, is very important. Generally, if you're listening to this and you're born after 1960, your FRA is 67. Now, in future Congresses, it's possible that they're going to raise this. Right now, I think what you got to do is think about your own financial life and what works best for everything involving your finances. The hard part about Social Security is making sure the right answer is drawn up and laid out and explained to you, and that's what we're going to do throughout this show today. At Akers Financial Group, we're local, we're independent, and we don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We're not a company that is driven by any one company like that. We report to you. We have actual offices in Forest Hill and Lutherville, but we work with clients all around the country and have some clients all around the world. This is all about your retirement, not about us. To begin winning in retirement, give us a call at Akers Financial Group to schedule your free meeting. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you can leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to set up a virtual meeting or an in-office meeting, mass to mass, with one of our team of advisors. Start planning now for your retirement. Call 833-946-7384 or visit AkersFinancialGroup.com. Social Security and retirement security are two different things. We'll explain this in the second half of our show.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to the second half of Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, Certified Financial Planner Practitioner from Akers Financial Group. And here with me today is special guest Sam Payne from AMS. He's been in financial services for over 30 years. And Sam is here as a Certified National Social Security Advisor to cover Social Security 102. So thanks for being with us today, Sam. Are you ready to go for the second half?
Absolutely. I'm ready. Great to be here with you.
All right. Here in the second half, our question to start is this. Social Security and retirement security are two different things. All right, Sam. How would you try to explain the difference between Social Security and retirement security?
Great question. Social Security is for everybody. Everybody gets a Social Security benefit as long as you paid into it. Retirement security is completely different. And if you look at that, most Americans will have some percentage of their income in retirement supplied by Social Security. The question is that income enough to meet their expenses, to fund their lifestyle in retirement? And what we find is most often that is not adequate. It's not enough. So there's got to be something in addition to Social Security. That additional amount, the amount you've got that you can add to Social Security, in essence, that is what provides for your retirement security. Social Security is there for all of us, and it's going to be there as long as you're alive, and for your spouse, a portion for your spouse. But again, is that enough to meet your expenses in retirement? What we find is that's not the case for most people. So when you start thinking of Social Security, you got to look for, what are the factors to consider when deciding when it's time to claim your Social Security?
Oh, absolutely. Now, the Social Security, retirement security. Now, most people, when they retire, they will need about 80% of their income, their pre-retirement income, to retire on. That's sort of a general guideline in planning. Social Security is not designed to totally pay that for an average earner. A very low-income earner, you're going to get a high amount of your earnings covered by Social Security. An example there might be if you're making the $25,000 range or under, a lot of that pay will be replaced by Social Security when you do retire. But when people have more of an average income, that average income, Social Security will generally pay around 40% of what you were making before. Now, the higher and higher you earn, there is caps on Social Security paying in. There's also caps on what Social Security will pay. It will not keep up with your higher and higher income if you want to try to replace that in your retirement planning. So when we're talking about different ages and looking at Social Security and looking at retirement planning and Social Security go hand in hand. The retirement security that you need is about a battle of cash flow. Cash flow is where's money going to come from? When is it going to come? How is it going to come? So for examples in this quarter, we're going to assume Social Security is going to be okay to the future. And we're going to talk about the different ages and what the advantages of taking it at different times. So Sam, can we go over a little bit how someone, if they take it at FRA, their full retirement age, how if they decide to go early, what the penalty looks like, and if they wait it, what that looks like? If you can cover that kind of concept for me.
Absolutely. And if you think of somebody who has been paying into Social Security all their life, and their full retirement age is age 66, and let's assume their full retirement age benefit, which, as we covered at the beginning of the show, is called their primary insurance amount. That full retirement benefit is $2,214 a month. If they decide that they want to claim early at age 62, they don't want to wait to their full retirement age. They want to claim early because they want to get it as quick as they can. They've listened to their neighbor that says, file as quick as you can. Their benefit is not $2,214 a month. Their benefit, that same benefit, drops to $1,550 a month. On the other side of the coin, if they say, you know what, I don't really need it, I'm still working, I'm probably going to work till I'm in my 70s, I think I'm okay, I'm going to wait until age 70 to claim the same benefit. Well, that same benefit is now $2,922. It jumped from $2,214 to $2,922. So it just shows you the benefits of waiting later. There are some additional consequences, not just the reduced benefit amount, but additional consequences of claiming before your full retirement age. And I'm sure we're going to get to that.
Absolutely. So there's so much information when you're trying to make these decisions, but you got to understand some of the basics. So full retirement age, if you wait, if there's reasons to wait, that you'll actually increase your payment at 8% a year between the FRA and age 70. After age 70, it will not increase. Now, I had a radio listener come in and meet with me a few years ago. They were 73 years old, and we were going over their income, and they were not drawing Social Security. So I talked to them. I said, well, why are you not drawing Social Security? And they were confused about their health care, meaning that if they basically stopped taking their health care at work, they thought that they would basically, by drawing Social Security, they'd be forced into Medicare and then force them out of their health care. It was a tough combination answer, but we reassured them of the answer on their health care, that they can stay with their group plan because of the way it was designed. And so at 73 years old, we had him draw Social Security right away. Now, as far back as they would go was 6 months. They went back 6 months and gave him a lump sum. So he maxed out at 70, and he missed about 2.5 years of Social Security payments by delaying far too long. That's been very rare in my career. It's more likely that someone jumps too early into Social Security rather than too late. Too early happens many, many times. Sam, this is a tough question. Do you think Social Security is a decision based on your expected life, how long you're going to live, your life expectancy, or is it based on other circumstances? Which one do you think drives the decision most?
You know, that is a great question. And in my opinion, there's a lot of things to take into consideration. I don't think it's based on your own life expectancy. And in reality, who really knows what that is? If we knew what that is, we could do some great planning, right? It's absolutely. In my opinion, it's an individual choice, and there are some things you got to consider. Things like, what's your work level? Are you still working? Do you continue to work? What's the cost of waiting? That break-even point is certainly something to look at. A big one, a huge one that you and I both see on a regular basis is the effect of claiming early on future widows' benefits. Understanding what your personal finances are. That is, I think, the biggest factor of determining whether to claim early or claim late. Healthcare needs, insurance and Medicare. Do you have access to insurance, or do you need Medicare? What is your lifespan? Do you have longevity in the family or not? Are you able to control Medicare premiums? What's the differences in the ages between you and your spouse? And are there ways to coordinate spousal benefits? These are all some of the factors I think need to be looked at before you start determining whether claiming early or later makes sense. And sitting down with somebody like you certainly makes sense to go over these questions.
All right, Sam, I'm going to ask you quick questions and see what your answer may be. All right, the first one is this. A break-even age for drawing. If we wait, is there a certain age that sort of works out to, well, you have to live at least this long for it to break even?
I think the math will show that it's around 11 to 12 years, if I remember correctly.
All right, so generally 78 to 80 might be a good example for someone based on FRA. If you plan on living, well, we all love to live forever, but if we think life expectancy is 78 to 80, it would pay to wait longer. That's fair to say?
That's fair to say. And let's just explain the break-even analysis. If I don't know that everybody is the mathematician you and I are. And so a break-even analysis is if I have $1,000 a month at age 66, and I lived 20 years, how many years would I have to claim if I got $700 a month? So what's that monthly difference? That's what we're looking at. So how many more months or less months am I getting? And in reality, for most people, that is the last computation that needs to be made, because that really doesn't make sense to take that into consideration unless you look at all the other factors: your health, your spouse's age, your spouse's earnings record, the longevity in your family, those things I just talked about.
All right, the next quick question is this. You mentioned about Medicare and Social Security. So Medicare age is 65, people have to sign up. Well, do they have to draw Social Security to get Medicare?
They do not have to draw Social Security to get Medicare. Absolutely correct. And the other side of the coin is if you are at 62, you stopped working, you don't have health insurance, you have to claim at 65. If you don't claim Medicare and start paying for Medicare at 65, then there are penalties that you incur. So again, it's part of the overall plan. It's understanding the nuances of the program, sitting down with somebody like you, a financial advisor, who can walk through the nuances, the consequences, and the opportunities of claiming Social Security at the right time.
So at 65, if you do not draw Social Security, you will actually pay your Medicare premium on a quarterly basis. That check will be roughly about $450 plus bucks. Medicare can also change based on your earned income each year. The higher money you make, there is means testing on Medicare premiums. Instead of being like $148, it could end up being over $404. It's a little crazy when you think about it. But what happens in decisions like Social Security, drawing Social Security, your personal income tax, your income need, your health care need, your future and life expectancy all comes in to making a wise decision. All right, the final quick question is this. If someone's drawing at 62, does that mean that they're not working?
No, it does not mean that they're not working. Some people continue to work and draw at 62, not recognizing the penalties that are imposed if you have earned income claiming your Social Security benefit before your annual earnings test.
All right, and that's exactly right, Sam. And we're going to cover that. The most important thing you've got to think about, if you're 62 and working and drawing Social Security, you might be stuck in a little trap there. We're going to try to explain that when we come back. Now, for all of those that are out there listening to the radio show, maybe you're currently in a reaction mode, defensive in every way. It's like you're sitting on the sofa, and the more and more you hear the news that's on TV about money, it causes you to keep moving back and sinking into that sofa, reacting to what's happening in the market, to all the news from D.C. and what's happening. But reacting has the energy of being defensive. Creating, now you sit up, you sit forward, you have the forward moving energy of creating. The people who will get through this in the best shape are the ones who take this opportunity and this time to be in the creating mode. No matter what's happening, they're in the solution mode. It's a choice. We want you to win in your retirement by taking advantage of this opportunity to begin planning with us at Akers Financial Group. Schedule a free meeting with one of our team of advisors. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to set up that free meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning now for your retirement. That's 833-946-7384 or visit us at AkersFinancialGroup.com. If you earn more than $19,000 a year, you need to hear this next segment. We'll explain in the fourth quarter.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. We're here in the fourth quarter. I'm Brian Akers, Certified Financial Planner Practitioner, President of Akers Financial Group. Here with me today is Sam Payne from AMS. He's our expert he's certified as a National Social Security Advisor. We have our show today, Social Security 102. It's a more advanced look at Social Security and the concepts, talking you through how it works and some things you need to think about when making that decision. Now, as you listen to the show today, you might say, I missed that. I would like to hear that again. Hey, guess what? Go to our website, AkersFinancialGroup.com, AKERS Financialgroup.com. On that website, you go to the radio tab, click that, and you'll be able to hear our past shows. This show will be on there by mid next week. You'll be able to listen to that show, listen to different pieces. It can come through as a podcast. You can save it, download it, whatever you like to do so you can listen to it later. So we design our Winning in Retirement shows for information purposes so you can understand what we can do. And then we invite you to give us a call for that free meeting where we talk about your unique financial fingerprint and how this talk of Social Security, how it applies to you and when to draw. A very important decision that all of us need to make as we hit certain ages. All right, Sam, are you ready here for the fourth quarter?
I'm ready. Great to be with you, and it's great to hear you sharing such important information about Social Security to the general public. Love it.
All right, so Sam, we always put four fingers in the air. It's winning time. It's time to bring it home. So our final topic is this. If you earn more than $19,000 a year and are thinking of claiming Social Security, you need to understand what happens. Sam, please explain.
Yes, if you are claiming before your full retirement age and you earn more than $18,960 in 2021, you will be subject to what's called the annual earnings test. If you exceed earnings of $19,000 ballpark, then you will have your Social Security benefit reduced $1 for every $2 over that until the year you actually turn your full retirement age, and then that number goes up to $50,000. But at the end of the day, it's all about making sure you understand that if you're working and earning more than $19,000, your Social Security benefit will be reduced.
You're saying if I draw Social Security and keep working, I'm drawing it, but then they're going to take it back from me?
They will. They will determine at some point that you've earned more than $1960, and they won't necessarily take it back from you, but they will stop sending you a check. Now, recognize that those dollars are not lost forever. If indeed you started at 62, kept earning dollars, earning income, and didn't give a benefit or a reduced benefit till your full retirement age, they actually recalculate the benefit when you get to full retirement age. And it's not like you're giving that up and never getting the money back. It's kind of hard to explain the way they do their calculations, but it won't be the same as waiting to age 65, but it's not as devastating as those dollars are gone forever. Does that make sense?
I think so. It sounds like it's in the middle. So the worst case scenario I've experienced with a client was we had the retirement talk. Yeah, I'm out. I'm going. I'm retiring. I'm not going to work anymore. I'm sick of my job. I got to get out, Brian. And they said, well, you need income. So it looks like because of the need for income, you're going to need to draw Social Security right away. And then I came back for a review a year later just to see how retirement was going. And he goes, Brian, after 6 months, I was so bored. They called me back and wanted me to work. So I'm working full time. And I said, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm working full time, making good money. I said, yeah, but you know that once you file your taxes and the IRS sees your income for this year, that they're going to take away your Social Security. He goes, what? What's going on with that? And then I said to him, there is a special exclusion where we can actually cancel Social Security and pay it back. And I had to make him write a check for all the benefits he had earned for those months. It was a little less than a year. And then pay it all back so that he could reset his Social Security. Can you explain that a little further, Sam?
Absolutely, and it's great that you visited with him prior to the end of that first year, because that is the rule. The rule is you can reverse your Social Security claiming decision in the first 12 months. After you get past 12 months, you can't reverse it. Now, in order to reverse that decision, you have to pay back the money that you received. But it's great that you had the time to visit with him and did it within that 12-month period, so you could meet within that window. Again, if you were outside that window, that option would not have been available to him. So kudos to you for sitting down and doing that review with him.
The opposite of this is once you hit full retirement age, you can make as much as you want, and there is no forfeiture of Social Security. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. At full retirement age, there is no penalty for earning income. You can earn as much as you want. Now, there are consequences to earning as much as you want, because the taxes on Social Security are based on all the income, your Social Security income and your other income. But you can absolutely make all the money you want, and you don't have your Social Security benefit taken away. Again, the thing to recognize is, what are the other consequences of having additional income?
You're indeed right about the taxation. Once you start drawing Social Security and you're still working, you might push yourself to a higher bracket. So you got to be careful when it comes to when to draw that income. It leads to all kinds of other planning issues, like not drawing Social Security and waiting for to do other things. But there is a lot of other situations that we want to try to cover today when it comes to Social Security. One of them is if someone's been divorced. Can you explain a little bit of how that affects Social Security?
Absolutely. And I'll start with a little story. A client was at a cocktail party with a neighbor, and she had recently gotten divorced. And the neighbor told her asked her how long she was married. She said she was married for 7 years, and that the neighbor said, "Hey, you can go file and claim Social Security on your ex-husband's work benefit after being married for 7 years." And in reality, that's not true. There are rules for divorcees and being divorced where you can actually claim for your spousal benefit off of your ex-spouse. That rule is you got to be married 10 years. Plain and simple. If you're not married 10 years, you cannot file against your ex-spouse's work record. Now, there may be a benefit to doing so if you're married longer than 10 years. But again, that's something to sit down, understand what your benefit is, what earnings record your ex-spouse had, and what their spousal benefit is.
Yeah, so that's all part of the Social Security application that you need to do online nowadays. The Social Security application asks you when you were married, when you were divorced. So what matters is if it's more than 10 years. Now, if you go in to draw Social Security and you're married, your only option is the current spouse. If you're divorced, and let's say you're divorced twice and you're married more than 10 years twice, you have a choice of which spouse to draw from. And so it makes interesting topics when we do financial planning. But when we ask nosy questions about your family history, it's for that purpose, to see if there's any Social Security concepts that would apply. Now, how does it work with for widows and younger children, Sam?
Great. Remember at the very beginning of the program, we talked about the 4 different types of benefits: retirement benefits, survivor benefits, disability benefits, and family benefits. Family benefits are available to current spouses, divorced spouses, and minor children under certain ages. Survivor benefits are for the current worker's current spouse or minor children. So when it comes to divorce, all that falls under that family benefit. And in reality, there is a maximum available from a family benefit perspective. So yes, you could have 2 ex-wives claiming a spousal benefit off of your total benefit, but that benefit is limited. So, does that answer your question?
It sure begins to. The hardest thing about this is Social Security 102 is the more we talk about it, the more questions you're going to have. If you go to the website at ssa.gov, SSA as Sam, apple.com. I like using Sam today. What happens when you go to that website, you'll see there's all kinds of things. Trying to figure out how it applies to your exact situation is what a financial advisor helps you do. So financial planning is taking where you are and putting it all together. It's not as simple as, I'm 62, let's go ahead and draw it. what happens is this. If you want to have a period of time with low income tax, perhaps waiting on Social Security is the right thing to do. Well, you can live off of some savings for a year or two, off of cash savings, and then what you're able to do is do other important planning things, such as Roth conversions, such as maybe cash out a stock option. There's lots of planning that can be done in those low tax years where you can do things. This year is a great year to consider tax planning. Something you got to do is maybe pay tax now and never again. So Roth conversions play into this. Social Security 102 is a good subject, and we thank you very much, Sam, for your knowledge today. Sam, any final thoughts on Social Security planning?
No, I'm glad to hear you mention Roth conversions. You and I have had this conversation in the past, and the clients of ours who have been able to incorporate tax-free income in their retirement years have seen substantial benefits as far as taxes. So I can't say enough today how important it is to look at generating tax-free sources of income.
All right. Thank you very much, Sam. Great job on the show today. Sam and I will be doing a webinar that'll be on the Akers Financial website here in the next few weeks. Sam and I are also spoken on stage at a few financial advisor events around the country. So we enjoy working together when it comes to important topics like Social Security 102. In retirement, your biggest worry of each and every day should be where you're going to drink your morning cup of coffee. Where every day seems like a Saturday, free of stress. Your retirement income or investments are fully taken care of by the team of advisors at Akers Financial Group. If this is the future you want, it's not too late. We want to provide you with this kind of retirement. Begin by calling us at Akers Financial Group to schedule your free meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule a phone meeting, a virtual Zoom meeting, or in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning now by calling 833-946-7384 or visit us at AkersFinancialGroup.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on Winning in Retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment.